Let's do another inter-octet subnetting example. And by the way, I could use the same Z-chart every time, but I'm reconstructing it each time just to for familiarity, so you see it over and over again. Well, I don't want red. Let's try that again. 1, 2, 4, 8, 16, 32, 64, 128. 128, 192, 224, 240, 248, 252, 254, 255, /25, /26, /27, /28, /29, /30, /31, /32. And notice I'm going faster and faster on this because I've explained it each time, and hopefully you'll learn it along with me and get faster and faster. This is all in the 4th octet. Now these are hosts or increments. We'll see how those are used in just a little bit. These are subnet masks, or these are CIDR notations down here. All right, this time let's take our same network, 192.168.0.0, 255, 255, 255.0, but this time I'm going to pose the question a little bit different way. I'm going to ask, what do I need as an increment, or what do I need to make a subnet mask if I need 8 networks? I need to divide this one network into 8 networks. Well, we saw this before. I don't ever put this on the chart because it's so easy to look at and calculate that it's just a waste of time to put them on here. But I said if I borrow 1 bit, I can get 2 networks. If I borrow 2 bits, I can get 4 networks. If I borrow 3 bits, I can get 8 networks. Well, that's what I need. I need 8 networks. So I'm going to borrow 3 bits. And I can say right now, then this is going to be the column that I'm going to be using. So the subnet mask that I need to do this, the new subnet mask, will now, instead of 255, 255, 255, 0, will now be 255.255.255 dot what? 224 in the 4th octet. 224 in the 4th octet. 224. Or if I wanted to, I could call this a /27. They both mean the same thing. These are just subnet masks in a different form. So now I've identified that. Well, now that I've got that information, I should be able to start making my network IDs, my first, my last, and my broadcast, and the subnet mask. Well, we know already that this is going to be 8 networks. All right, so I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 networks. I'm going to put another line down here, and you'll see why in a little while. Okay, what's our first network? Well, we have it right here, as usual. 192.168.0.0. What's our increment? Well, if we look at the increments, we have a 32. Again, there we go. A 32 in the 4th octet. So 32 in the 4th octet. So here we go. We're going to increment by 32. 192.168.0.32 in the 4th octet. That means that the next network will be 192.168.64, because 32 more. The next one will be 192.168. Well, what's 64 plus 32? that would be 96. Oh, I didn't put the 0 in there. 0.196. Next would be 192.168.0. Well, let's see, 96 plus 32 would be 128. 128. All right, the next one then would be 192.168.0. What's 128 plus 32? That'd be 10. That's a 2. 3, 4, 5, 6. That would be a 160. 192.168.0. Well, 32 more would be 192. And then 192.168.0. Well, 192 plus 32 would be, that's a 4 there, 2, and 2, 224. Now, the reason I put this line down here is because at the very bottom I want to make sure that I know the next one, just for accounting purposes. That would be 256 there. Again, that's just for accounting. I don't need it. I'm not going to use it. And in fact, it wouldn't even be a valid address. But with that, I can get my broadcast address. If that would be a 256, then this one would be a 0.255. If 0.224 is the next network address after this one, then the broadcast address would be 0.223. If 0.192, then the next one down would be 0.191. For the 160, it'd be 0.159. For the 128, it'd be 0.127. For the 96, it'd be 0.95. For the 64, it'd be 0.63. For the 32, it'd be 0.31. Now we can do the last addresses. It's just one less than the broadcast address. So instead of 0.31, this would be 0.30. This would be 0.62 here. 0.94. 0.126. That's a 159. Okay, 0.1, I can't read my own writing. 158. 0.190 would be what before 191. 0.222 and 0.234. Is that right? Nope. That's 254. Let me erase that and try that again. 254. There we go. Now all we need is the first addresses. So 00 would be 01. 032 would be 033. 0, that should be a 0 there. 064 would be 065. 096 would be 097. 0128 would be 0129. 0160 would be 0161. 0192 would now be 0193. And 0224 would be 0225. The subnet mask we have right here. 255, 255, 255, 224. Or /27. It's the same thing either way. And we'll just put the same all the way down with the IBID marks here. All right. I think we have our networks now. And we're done with that problem. Now, this problem was an example of solving a network by the number of subnets that we need. We said we needed 8 subnets, and indeed we have 8 subnets. In the next example, I'm going to solve a problem by number of hosts that you need in each network.